More than 150 residents of Burger Gully in East Kingston could soon be relocated as plans advance to move them from the flood-prone community. Now, Member of Parliament Phillip Paulwell says lands have already been identified following decades of repeated flooding. Anthony Atkinson reports.
After years of watching floodwaters evade their homes and disrupt their lives, relief could soon be coming for more than 150 residents of Burger Gully. The East Kingston community has been repeatedly affected by flooding, prompting fresh efforts to move families to safer ground. Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal, Phillip Paulwell, announced the relocation plan during his annual constituency conference at Vauxhall High School. Mr. Paulwell says urgent action is needed to end decades of suffering in the community.
And I'm so happy that the government has recently accepted the proposal for the relocation of persons who are living closest to the Burger Gully. I can tell you every time I see the clouds set up and rain start to fall, I'm just waiting for the gods. And even though they're doing repairs now to the gully, that wall can't be high enough. That wall cannot be high enough. And there are persons who have been living there for decades.
He says the move is intended to provide safer living conditions and protect them from the reoccurring impact of flooding. For those living in Burger Gully, the relocation cannot come soon enough.
I have to wipe out the house and wash up this water come and wake up with something new.
Is it the first time it happened?
All the while. Anytime the gully come over.
Oh, so the gully come over. They say you have to lick out a part and...
Yeah, down at the back of the yard.
No, you don't have to go around there.
Oh, yeah, man.
So you have to use this now. This is one now.
Yeah, I have to use some, they call it the grabber them to back out the water.
While no time has been announced, the proposed relocation is expected to provide a long-term solution for the families who have endured decades of flooding. Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, JCSA, Tesha Clark Griffiths, has painted a picture of a public sector that needs to change mindsets and mechanisms in order to attract and keep young, bright talents. She was addressing an annual Teens Summer program held jointly by the JCSA and the Manchester Parish Library in Mandeville. More in this report.
Just over 2 weeks away from the start of a new school year, Tesha Clark Griffith says she's bracing for another slew of teacher migration announcements, as well as other public sector professions. But she notes that with new bright talents, the government must change certain structures to make the civil service more attractive to young people. For her, it starts with more competitive salaries as well as empathy.
And I can tell you about a case right now with one of my members who is going to do a brain surgery and was sent on no pay leave. Remember, you're going into hospital. And after you do that surgery, you will have no salary. So in addition to getting the surgery, which is going to impact you, there's no empathy from some people.
She also noted the need to bridge the gap between long-standing public servants and newcomers.
For experience, institutional memory, and so on, negotiation, leadership skills, these are some of the things that we need to teach you. And you youth, you young people need to teach us digital skills, AI and technology, new perspective and new ways to communicate, because what we recognize is that this young group, these young people know how to, they're leaders in digital skills, you know the platform.
As for the youngsters, she encouraged them not to be boxed into professions that are either academically driven or skill-based.
An education or a degree in law doesn't mean that you cannot be a carpenter or a tiler or a nail technician. Those can get you additional income. So skills are important to Jamaica, right? As well as you travel, you experience what is happening in other countries, you bring it home and implement here.
Patients and staff at the Princess Margaret Hospital in St. Thomas are set to better cope with the sweltering heat impacting the facility and the wider country. The facility benefited from a near $2 million donation on Wednesday. Details from in this report. Rising temperatures prompted the health ministry to warn persons to be wary of heat-related issues that could land them in the hospital. But how are persons already at hospitals coping with the heat, especially in those sections of facilities without air conditioning? Not very well, according to stakeholders. And the Princess Margaret Hospital in St. Thomas is no different.
I know persons have been complaining about the heat, not only on the wards, but in other areas.
Those complaints have reached the right persons. And on Wednesday, these Good Samaritans turned up with 35 fans valuing $1.7 million.
Quite grateful, especially at this time of the year where it's extremely hot. We're known, Princess Margaret Hospital has been named one of the cleanest hospitals. We want to be one of the coolest. So we're very grateful on behalf of the doctors, for this gift for the patients, for the relatives, and for the staff. It will really come at a time when we need the relief.
We don't get very many opportunities to show this side of our work, and your gracious acceptance of our gift is well appreciated. Thank you very much.
The leadership of Princess Margaret Hospital also urged other persons to continue assisting public health facilities as their generosity can help with the issues plaguing many hospitals.
We do hope that when things come like this, next time you will consider Princess Margaret Hospital, and not only Princess Margaret, but St. Thomas Health Department as well.
It's time for a break, but stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
Remittance inflows to Jamaica rose by 4.2% in the first 6 months of this year, reaching about $1.8 billion. The Bank of Jamaica says the growth was helped by a $24 million increase in June. The figures come as Jamaica's trade deficit widens, with Statin reporting a gap of about $2 billion between imports and exports in the first 4 months. However, the BOJ says Jamaica's remittance growth trailed Guatemala at 7% and El Salvador at 4.8%. Further afield, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is issuing an emergency fuel waiver in a move officials hope will help lower gas prices. Starting September 1st, the EPA will end summer blend requirements early, allowing gasoline with 10% ethanol to be sold at higher vapor pressure and boosting the nation's fuel supply. The waiver, announced on Thursday, will remain in effect through September 15. This comes as AAA reports that the national average price for regular gasoline has reached $4.10 per gallon. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Thank you, Shane. Time now for the top stories from around the world. In the region, Barbados' Association of Medical Practitioners is warning against vaccine misinformation, including the debunked claim linking the MMR vaccine to autism. BAMP says requests for childhood immunization exemptions have increased each year over the past 5 years. The group warns that this trend could weaken Barbados' protection against vaccine-preventable diseases. BAMP is reaffirming its support for the National Immunization Schedule and urging parents to follow the Ministry of Health's recommendations. And on the international scene, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has announced the recall of nearly 40,000 bottles of Clear Eyes Maximum HEI relief over contamination concerns. Manufacturer Prestige Consumer Healthcare says the recall was issued because the product's sterility cannot be guaranteed. The recall affects 15 milliliter bottles with an expiration date of September 30, 2027. Now consumers are urged to stop using the product immediately and return it to the place of purchase for a full refund. And those were the top regional and international stories. And we head to our final break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports reports.